AJ Styles is still the WWE Heavyweight Champion after the triple threat match that opened the show. Yeah, that was different. I got all the results from No Mercy. Stay tuned. There was a strange format to No Mercy, but before we get into that, which happened in the main show, we got to talk about the pre-show match. I don't want to act like it was all that great, but Brock Lesnar is actually supposed to be part of the Raw roster, but American Alpha brought their own little bit of Suplex City to the pre-show match. Those guys and those suplexes are pretty amazing. They're actually going to be the tag team champions at some point, but I think it was smart not to let them be the tag team champions just yet, because fans are only going to boo them because they say they were given too much too soon. No doubt about it, they were going to win this match. Them and the Hype Bros, who I really like. The Vaudevillains and Ascension have been like buried ever since they even came up to the main show. I have no idea what happened with those guys. But after just a little bit of offense from the heels, the faces took control and got the pinfall. This was a little less than what I normally see from pre-show matches, which for a while they were pretty good. But hey, the Hype Bros and American Alpha has some real potential, so we'll see what happens with them moving forward. In the next match, or the first match of the main show, they went with the main event from the beginning. Crazy, right? AJ Styles retained the WWE World Championship, defeating Dean Ambrose and John Cena in the triple threat match. I don't know. Maybe they made the main event the first match because the in-ring booking was pretty whack. I mean, the match had an old school feel from the beginning to the end. That's not like always a bad thing, but this one was clunky, simplistic, had some botches, and it just wasn't really entertaining the way they had this whole thing play out. I mean, there was some good points, They had the 450 springboard 450 splash from Styles. Cena actually even had a looks like what was a new move. It was an AA into a cutter, kind of F5-ish type of a thing. It was okay, but unfortunately those moments didn't overshadow the botches and the less than fluid exchanges. Towards the end, Ambrose pulled out the whole move thief thing when he locked Styles into the calf crusher, but he didn't even do it right, which was crazy. Cena joined the session by putting Styles in the STF at the same time, so that might have been cool if I hadn't already seen him this whole thing happen in a triple threat match back at WrestleMania 25 with Cena, the Big Show, and Edge. The referee singled for the bell, though, as Styles tapped out, but obviously they couldn't really end the match because there was no definitive winner. Cena and Ambrose then started going back and forth at each other as Styles rolled out of the ring, and Cena got the advantage, and he had Ambrose up on the top rope for the AA off the top rope. He hit it, went for the pin, but Styles jumps in the ring with a chair, bashes Cena in the stomach, and then over the back. And obviously this is no DQ rules. Styles covers Cena and gets the win. I don't know, I have a problem with Styles winning, but I just felt a little empty after that match. Next up, we saw Nikki Bella against Carmela. This was a pretty physical match. Wasn't spectacular, but I thought both of them gave pretty good effort, and they ended up delivering a pretty decent performance. Added another layer to their feud if they plan to keep it moving. Nikki escaped two versions of the Code of Silence, which I think is a really good move from Carmela. The first reversal was the most impressive because she actually stood up with Carmela dangling from around her neck. So that shows you just how strong Brie is. But Brie's not strong. How strong Nikki is. Nikki would get the win with the Rack Attack 2.0. And but truth be told, this probably could have been a SmackDown match, but it was a decent job. Next, we had the tag team title match. Heath Slater and Rhino, Beauty and the Man Beast against the Usos. I love the Usos so much more as heels. And the matches were starting to get a little bit better as they even move along. As you can tell, I wasn't super enthused about stuff I'd seen so far. The Usos, like I said, just much more interesting as heels. They had some momentum in this match, but Rhino was the absolute difference maker. the Usos actually had a double team on Slater where they were setting them up for the leg stomp that they've been using to injure people. And Jimmy, or Jay, I believe it was, stomped the back of the leg. Jimmy put in this tequila sunrise, but Rhino ended up coming in to save the day with a clothesline that broke the hold. He then got Slater to tag out, and he gored Jimmy to get the pinfall victory. This was a pretty entertaining match, and I think they should extend this little feud out a little bit longer. Next, we had Baron Corbin against Jack Swagger. Yeah, the body of this match wasn't all that bad, actually, but the ending was whack. After they went hard at each other for about 10 minutes with, some high-impact maneuvers, Swagger had Corbin in some trouble, had him in the ankle lock, and Corbin was trying to reach the bottom of the rope, but he ended up grabbing the ring apron. I'm trying to figure out, since when did that break a hole? I don't even remember that ever breaking a hole, but it broke one today. And at that point, there was a little brief scramble. Corbin ends up poking Swagger in the eye, which gives him the advantage to hit him with the end of days and the win. This feud's like going nowhere. You have my permission to break this up, guys. Thanks. I'm just kind of saying, All right, to the good stuff. Ziggler against The Miz. Ziggler wins the championship, the Intercontinental Championship. Was this a little over the top? Yes, it was, but it was still a lot of fun to watch. Ziggler fought off I don't know how many situations that usually mean defeat. He kicked out of 2 skull-crushing finales, a slingshot powerbomb, he lost a shoe, he got sprayed in the face with Maurice's perfume, and he still won the match and the IC title. This was the whole career for title match, and Ziggler and The Miz really delivered the kind of drama that made you feel the moment like it was important, like that was really on the line. I'll be honest though, once Maurice pulled out the spray, I thought that Ziggler was going to lose and they were going to have to come up with some sort of loophole that would have to bring Ziggler back on Tuesday night. They even had the Spirit Squad come out there to make another appearance, and they tried to attack The Miz, but the referee would then banish them and Maurice out of the from ringside, and Ziggler used that as an opportunity to hit his second super kick, and he got the pin. That was an awesome match. Next was not so awesome. Naomi against Alexa Bliss. This was supposed to be the SmackDown Women's title match, but Becky Lynch was scratched from the event with what they call a non-physical injury. I don't know what that's about, but I hope she's cool. The moment that was announced, I kind of knew this wasn't going to be a good match, because you knew Naomi and Alexa didn't have a chance to prepare to do anything to get ready for this. So the crowd was chanting "We want Becky" midway through the match. It was crazy, right? Now, I'm not the biggest Becky fan, but I was kind of looking forward to it. Naomi got the win after a sloppy roll-up when she had countered a cross arm breaker. She had did the rear view early and didn't even hit her, really. It was kind of whack. It was nice to see Naomi get the win, but this match was really, really, really forgettable. In what wound up being the main event that actually didn't feel like a main event, Bray Wyatt defeated Randy Orton. It wasn't a horrible match, but wasn't all that great either. Orton and Wyatt, they did make it feel as though they hated each other, but the in-ring booking I thought was just too safe. We all know Orton is as smooth as they come in between the ropes, and Wyatt can pretty much hold his own with anyone as well in that regard, but with so much talent in the ring, and you'd already moved the triple threat match to the beginning of the pay-per-view, you'd have liked to see more in the final match. And it just kind of wasn't there. As it was, Wyatt dominated most of the match before Orton turned the tables outside the ring. He hit him with the signature apron DDT and then went into the whole voices in the head pre-RKO taunts. But suddenly the lights went out in the arena and out comes Luke Harper. I was real happy to see Luke Harper back. He's one of my favorite performers, period. So definitely looks as though he's going to be on SmackDown. So it was good to see him back on television. He didn't touch Orton, but the distraction was enough to set up the Sister Abigail from Wyatt, and Wyatt gets the pin. So this is clearly extending this feud, and we'll see what goes on from there. But I'm gonna be honest with you, this was not a strong pay-per-view at all. They had one really good match, and The whole strategy or decision to put the triple threat match at the beginning of the show didn't pay off. You know, I'm never one to be overly negative, but this was definitely one of the worst pay-per-views I've seen in a while. So, yeah. But I do appreciate you watching nonetheless. God bless. Peace.